Hello students, greetings from Indore Public School. In the last class we have discussed male reproductive system. I have asked you to learn the diagram properly. I hope you have done that. Now today we are going to move on and we are going to study about the female reproductive system. Right? Fine. So female reproductive system, it is located in the pelvic region. Pelvic region is the lower abdominal region. Abdominal cavity में जो नीचे वाला area है, lower portion है, that is known as the pelvic area. Okay. Now, what all parts are included in female reproductive system? The parts included are a pair of ovaries, pair of oviduct, a uterus, cervix, vagina, and the external genitalia. So these are the parts of female reproductive system. We are going to discuss about each one of them one by one, right? So ovaries as we know are the female reproductive organs. They are responsible for formation of gamete as well as they also release certain hormones. This you have already studied in class 10. Pair of oviducts. Oviducts form the accessory ducts. Oviduct, uterus, cervix and vagina, they all form the accessory ducts, right? Cervix and vagina together is known as a birth canal because through this birth canal only the birth of the child takes place. The childbirth occurs through cervix and vagina, so it forms a birth canal. Okay, and external genitalia is that part which is visible externally, right? So we are going to discuss about it one by one. All these parts, besides this there are mammary glands. These mammary glands are meant for the nourishment of the young ones, and all the parts, ovaries, oviduct, uterus, cervix, vagina, which are the accessory ducts, okay, as well as the mammary glands, they all work structurally as well as functionally to support all the processes of reproduction, that is the ovulation, okay, release of the ovum, fine, fertilization and the maintenance of pregnancy. So the diagram shows female reproductive system. You can see various parts, okay. Now this is a sectional view through pelvis, right? So all the parts, ovaries and all are not visible in this diagram, but still you can understand by its location. If through the pelvis a section is taken, then how will the reproductive system look like? Okay, you can see the position of the uterus as well as urinary bladder. Okay, uterus is laid just above urinary bladder, right? Okay, and also the position of rectum, okay, urethra. So all these openings are visible, and so you can make out the position of the female reproductive system in it, right? Let us move to this diagram. Okay, this is the sectional view of female reproductive system. You can locate the pair of ovaries, okay, fine. Then you can see the oviduct or the fallopian tube, fine. Uterus opens into the cervix and the cervical canal, which is a narrow canal, and it opens into broader vagina. Okay, so these are the parts of the female reproductive system. Again, I'll tell you that you have to learn this diagram by heart because the diagrams are very, very important. The diagram usually comes in the exam, right? So learn the diagram properly. Fine. Now let us talk about each one of them. Female gonads. Female gonads are called the ovaries. As we have discussed, they are paired structure. Unlike the male gonad, that is testis, they are present in the abdominal cavity, है ना. मेल जो गोनाड है, टेस्टिस है, वो हमने पढ़ा था कि स्क्रॉटम सैक में एब्डोमिनल कैविटी के बाहर प्रेजेंट होता है, लेकिन ओवरीज जो है वो एब्डोमिनल कैविटी में ही प्रेजेंट होते हैं, ठीक है. तो they are the female sex organ and they form the female gamete, that is the ovum, and they also produce the female steroid hormones estrogen and progesterone, right? Fine. Now each ovary is about 2 to 4 centimeters in length. 2 to 4 centimeters length में होते हैं ये long okay, and they are connected to the pelvic as well as the uterus. Pelvic wall और uterus की wall से ये connected होते हैं ligaments के through, right? Through ligaments they are connected to the wall of the pelvis as well as to the uterus, so that it is maintained in a fixed position. Okay, now each ovary, it is enclosed in the ovarian stroma. Now this, it is surrounded by an epithelium, okay, and it is a solid organ, it is not hollow from inside, okay. So it is a solid organ, and so we can say that outside the ovary has an epithelium and inner to the epithelium they have a stroma. ठीक है, ovaries में एक epithelium covered होता है और epithelium के अंदर stroma होता है. Stroma में हम बोल सकते हैं दो zones होते हैं. Stroma has two zones. The peripheral, the outer part is known as cortex and the inner part is known as medulla. Fine. So if we talk about the structure of ovary, 2 to 4 centimeter in length, pelvis और uterus wall से ये ligaments के through connected होती है. ठीक है, फिर इसमें बाहर एक epithelium है. Epithelial tissue we have already studied. ये हर body part को outline करना, inner और outer lining बनाता है. ठीक है, so ovaries are also covered by epithelium, or and inside the epithelium there is ovarian stroma. Ovarian stroma can be divided into two parts, okay. Peripheral cortex, जो outer part है ovarian stroma का, उसको बोलते हैं cortex, और जो inner part है उसको बोलते हैं medulla, right. तो whatever follicles are present, ovum are present, they are present in the cortex area. बाहर peripheral part में present होता है, and the inner part is made up of blood vessels and ovarian ligaments. Okay, you can see in this diagram. ठीक है, बाहर जो है epithelium lining है, right. Inner to the epithelium lining, whatever portion is present, that is known as stroma. Okay, the outer part of the stroma, it bears the follicles, and the inner part, that is the medulla, it bears the ovarian ligaments and the blood vessels, right. अब ये follicles जो हैं आप देख सकते हैं, ठीक है, अलग अलग sizes के, अलग अलग developmental stages के follicles present हैं, right. Again the sectional view of ovary, it is very very important. Many a times it has come in the exam, right. So you need to learn it properly. Fine. So top right corner से start करेंगे. Primordial follicles, primary follicles, these are the follicles in the developing stage. ठीक है, हम देख सकते हैं वहाँ पे कि बहुत सारे follicles जो हैं वो primary follicles में बने हैं, डेवलप हो रहे हैं, बट उसके बाद में केवल एक follicle further development होता है उसमें. ठीक है, so developmental stages है oocyte. ठीक है, तो oocyte जो है, जो प्राइमरी फॉलिकल oocyte में डेवलप होगा वो ही फर्दर डेवलप होगा, राइट. इट फॉर्म्स सेकेंडरी फॉलिकल, राइट. जब हम गैमेटोजेनेसिस पढ़ेंगे तो हम ये सारे प्राइमरी फॉलिकल, सेकेंडरी फॉलिकल और टर्शरी फॉलिकल में क्या डिफरेंस है वो आप समझ पाएंगे ज़्यादा अच्छे से. ठीक है, सो प्राइमरी फॉलिकल, one of the primary follicle forms the oocyte which forms the secondary follicle, and the secondary follicle further develops, right. सेकेंडरी फॉलिकल में फर्दर डेवलपमेंट होता है, ओव्यूलेशन होता है उसमें, राइट, एंड देन इट फॉर्म्स द कॉर्पस ल्यूटियम, राइट. सो दीज आर द डेवलपमेंटल स्टेजेस इन द ऑफ द ओवम, राइट. सो लर्न दिस डायग्राम प्रॉपरली. ओके, सो TS of ovary, as we have discussed, as we have already discussed, right, through the diagram, that it has different stages. Okay, primary follicle, secondary follicle and tertiary follicle. The tertiary follicle will develop into Graafian follicle, right. So all this will occur till the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, and after that the ovum will be released, right. You can see here in this diagram, you can see here in this diagram the release of the ovum. This is known as ovulation, which will occur on the 14th day of the menstrual cycle, right. So ovum will be released, and whatever follicle cells are left, they will develop into corpus luteum. Corpus luteum, we know corpus luteum is responsible for the development and release of progesterone. Okay, so it will form progesterone, right. So this was about ovary. Now let us talk about the accessory ducts. Accessory ducts, that is oviduct, uterus and vagina. Okay, fine. Now oviduct or fallopian tube, it is about 10 to 12 centimeter in length from periphery to uterus, from periphery of ovary to uterus. So you can see here one side of the fallopian tube or oviduct. ठीक है, ओवरी से स्टार्ट होके यूटरस तक इसका लेंथ है 10 to 12 सेंटीमीटर, राइट, फाइन. नाउ ये जो ओविडक्ट है, that is lined internally by ciliated epithelium. Ciliated epithelium, if you remember, we have studied last year कि उस epithelial tissue में very fine cilia are present और ciliary movements ये cause करते हैं. ओके, ciliary movement का फंक्शन यहाँ पे क्या है कि जब ओवरी से ओव्यूलेशन होके ओवम बाहर आएगा, so that ovum will be released into the oviduct, so that ovum should move towards the uterus, right. तो ये जो cilia है, they will move in a particular way so as to bring the ovum, okay, into the uterus. ovum को uterus की तरफ लाने का ये काम करेंगे, ठीक है. तो this is about the action of the cilia which is present in the fallopian tube. तो ये जो fallopian tube है, ये इंटरनली सीलिएटेड एपिथेलियम से लाइंड होते हैं और सीलिया बीट करते हैं जिससे कि वो ओवम को ओवरी यूटरस की तरफ लाएंगे, राइट. अब ये जो फैलोपियन ट्यूब है, दैट कैन बी डिवाइडेड इनटू 3 एरियाज. ओके, 3 पार्ट्स में हम इसको डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. दीज 3 पार्ट्स यू कैन सी इन द डायग्राम. दे आर इन्फुंडिबुलम, एम्प्यूला एंड isthmus. ओके, इन्फुंडिबुलम एंड ampulla and isthmus. Infundibulum is that part of the fallopian tube which is close to the ovary, right, and the edge of the infundibulum you can see finger like projections. These finger like projections are known as fimbrae, and these finger like projections again they move in a particular direction, right. What is their basic function? They bring the released ovum inside. Okay, they move in a particular way so that the released ovum comes inside the infundibulum. तो ये जो infundibulum है वो एक funnel like portion है, funnel like part of fallopian tube है, okay, which brings the ovum into it, right. Then the next part is a broad part which is known as the ampulla. Ampulla leads to isthmus, ठीक है. Now this is the fallopian tube, fine. Fertilization of ovum occurs in the ampullary isthmic zone. ampulla और isthmus जहाँ पे meet हो रहे हैं वहाँ पे fertilization होता है ovum का, right. So that ovum has to enter into the infundibulum and pass on to the ampulla and to the isthmus, and where the fertilization usually occurs, right. So this is the structure of the fallopian tube. So this fallopian tube leads to the uterus. Uterus is also known as womb. A single uterus is present in the lower abdomen. Okay, it is of the shape of a hollow inverted pear. Okay, and it is attached to the pelvic wall with the help of ligaments. Now, basic function of uterus is that it provides a proper space, proper place, and it arranges for the nourishment, okay, which is required for the growing fertilized zygote and the growing embryo. Okay, so uterus, you can see uterus, as you know, it is attached to the pelvic wall with the help of ligaments. Fine. From it receives the ovum from the fallopian tube, fine, from both the sides, and this uterus opens into the vagina through a narrow cervix. And the canal of the cervix is known as cervical canal, right. As I have already told you, cervical canal along with vagina forms the birth canal, right. So these are some of the accessory ducts, fine. So accessory ducts, as I have told you, there are 3 accessory ducts. fallopian tube, uterus and vagina. Okay, so from fallopian tube the ovum enters, okay, into the female reproductive tract, female reproductive system. Fertilization may occur, may not occur. Now the fertilized zygote will travel towards the uterus and it will get implanted inside the uterus, है ना, uterus में वो implant हो जाएगा. Fine. Okay, now uterus wall has 3 layers. Okay, the uterus wall has 3 layers. The 3 layers are the outer perimetrium, which is a single thin membrane, membranous structure. It is thin membrane. Okay, then next is myometrium. Myometrium is a thick layer which is made up of smooth muscles, right? The contraction which occurs in this myometrium is responsible for the childbirth, right? The labor pain occurs due to the contractions which are occurring in the myometrium, and this is only responsible for the expulsion of the child, है ना. जो चाइल्ड बर्थ होता है उसमें मायोमीट्रियम में इनवॉलेंटरी कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस होते हैं, ठीक है. मायोमीट्रियम जो है एक थिक मस्कुलर लेयर है जो स्मूथ मसल्स के बनी हुई है. ओके, नाउ द इनरमोस्ट लेयर इज द एंडोमीट्रियम, ठीक है. एंडोमीट्रियम सबसे अंदर वाली लेयर है which is glandular and it is richly supplied with blood vessels. Okay, this is that layer of uterus which will undergo cyclical changes during the menstrual cycle. Okay, and menstrual bleeding occurs due to breakdown of this layer, right? This layer breaks down during menstrual bleeding and again it reforms. Fine. This is the layer in which mainly the zygote, the embryo gets implanted. Fine, and it develops covering whole of the embryo, and since it is richly supplied with blood vessels, so it can easily pass on the nutrient to the growing embryo, right? So these are the 3 layers of the uterus. Now let us talk about the external genitalia. The external genitalia forms that part of the female reproductive system that can be visible externally. So you can see here external genitalia is formed by mons pubis, labia majora, labia minora, hymen and clitoris. So these are the parts of external genitalia in female reproductive system. Okay, mons pubis is the outermost part of the external genitalia and it forms a pad layer of fatty tissue which is covered by the hair. Okay, so the hair covering part, okay, made up of fatty tissue is known as mons pubis. Then inner to the mons pubis is a fleshy fold of tissue, okay, which surrounds the vaginal opening, which this is known as labia majora. Now inner to the labia majora is labia minora. Again it is a paired fold of tissue under the labia majora, right? Then there is a finger like structure called clitoris. It lies at the junction of both the labia majora. Okay, besides clitoris there is hymen. Hymen is mucous membrane, okay, and this is present inside the vagina. We can say it partially or it completely covers the vagina, right? Hymen, usually you must have heard that hymen is considered as the indicator of virginity, right? Because it is believed that the hymen breaks down during the first intercourse, but this is not very certain. Why? Because hymen is a very delicate tissue which can be easily torn even due to some jerk or even due to some vigorous physical exercise like horse riding or swimming. Okay, so hymen can easily break down. Fine, it is not necessary that it will break down only during first intercourse. So it cannot be a very reliable indicator of virginity, though still it is considered as one. Fine, so these are the different external genitalia, right? Mons pubis, जो सबसे outermost part में fatty tissue है, it is covered by here. Then labia majora, present inner to the mons pubis. Okay, it is a fleshy fold of tissue surrounding the vaginal opening. Labia minora, present inner to labia majora. Then clitoris, which is a finger-like projection, which is present on the upper junction of the labia majora. Okay, and the hymen, which is a mucous membrane which covers partially or wholly the vaginal opening. Okay, and it is believed as an indicator of virginity, as it is said that it breaks down during the first intercourse. But since it is a very soft, delicate tissue, it can even break down during the physical exercise, right? So it cannot be a reliable indicator of virginity. Okay. Now we will talk about the mammary glands. Mammary glands are the paired glands, paired glandular tissue. Fine. It is functional in females. Fine. The front portion has a nipple through which the milk is sucked, and this nipple is surrounded by a pigmented area which is known as areola. Okay. Now the mammary gland is composed of two types of tissues, the glandular tissue as well as the fat, right? The glandular tissue, as you can see in the diagram, it is composed of 15 to 20 mammary lobes. ठीक है, जो ग्लैंडुलर टिश्यू है वो 15 to 20 mammary lobes में divided होती है. Each mammary lobe consists of cluster of cells and each cell is known as alveoli. तो alveoli जो हैं वो cells हैं, milk releasing, milk secreting cells होती हैं, और ये alveoli के cluster को बोलते हैं mammary lobes, है ना. ऐसे 15 to 20 mammary lobes present होते हैं mammary glands में, right? Now alveoli secretes milk and this milk is stored in the lumen of the alveoli. alveoli के अंदर जो space है, alveoli क्या है? alveoli एक milk secreting cell है. ओके, तो ये जो सेल है ये मिल्क रिलीज करता है, और ये जो मिल्क है ये alveoli के lumen में स्टोर होता है. फाइन. नाउ ये जो alveoli है, it will open into the mammary tubules, and these mammary tubules opens into mammary duct. You can see the mammary duct in the diagram, right? So each alveoli opens into mammary tubules, and the mammary tubules together opens into the mammary duct. The mammary ducts open into the lactiferous duct. You can see the lactiferous duct here, right? The mammary duct opens, all the mammary ducts, they will join to form the mammary ampulla. You can see the ampulla, which is a thicker area, and these mammary ampulla opens into the lactiferous duct. Fine. Lactiferous duct opens at the end of the nipple from where the milk is sucked in. Okay, and you can also see the upper portions, the upper and the lower portions, and this mammary glands, the lobules, the mammary lobes, they are supported by the fat tissue, right? So this is the structure of a mammary gland. Let us quickly revise it. Okay, the mammary glands are composed of the mammary lobes. Each mammary lobe consists of the cluster of cells which are known as alveoli. The alveoli secrete the milk. Milk gets stored in the cells in the lumen of the alveoli. Okay, from the alveoli the milk opens, the alveoli opens into mammary tubules which open into mammary duct. So milk from alveoli will pass into mammary duct through mammary tubules. Mammary duct will join to form ampulla, which will further join into the lactiferous duct, and through the lactiferous duct milk can be sucked out. Okay, तो ये एक सीक्वेंस में मिल्क ट्रैवल हो रहा है. मैमरी alveolus में मिल्क इज सिक्रीटेड, मैमरी alveolus से मैमरी डक्ट, मैमरी alveolus से मैमरी ट्यूब्यूल्स, फिर ट्यूब्यूल से मैमरी डक्ट, देन फ्रॉम मैमरी डक्ट टू एम्पुला, और एम्पुला से लैक्टिफेरस डक्ट. ओके, सो दिस इज अबाउट द मैमरी ग्लैंड्स. मैमरी ग्लैंड्स का बेसिक पर्पस होता है मिल्क को सिक्रीट करना, राइट, which is necessary for the nourishment of the young ones, right? We already know that the presence of the mammary glands is the indicator of the mammals का एक specific characteristic है. ठीक है, so this was about female reproductive system. I hope you have understood. Now I want you all to learn the diagrams properly, right? The diagrams of the sectional view of female reproductive system, as well as the diagram of the TS of ovary. ठीक है, TS of ovary practicals में भी है तो हम उसमें भी पढ़ेंगे, right? As well as the structure of the mammary gland, right? So I want you to study all this properly. Fine. In the next class we will study about gametogenesis. Okay, practice the diagram properly and also read from your NCERT book. Fine. So good day for today. Stay at home and stay safe.